Okay, body paragraph number 2. We're starting with a transition, so it has to be a different transition than you used for body paragraph number 1. I will write some ideas up here for you to use. You can use also. Again, after the transition, you need a comma. You can use secondly, because it's the second body paragraph. You can use next, comma. Okay, I'm going to use also, comma. Okay, and then our topic sentence. This body paragraph is dedicated to what the other side believes, the counterclaim, the counter argument. And so this topic sentence right here is going to be our counterclaim. So if you go back to your introduction, you addressed the counterclaim. Okay, so I will show you this example of what we did in class, the counterclaim and rebuttal from the introduction. You could have started out with critics argue that, or others may believe that. I just started out with some people may believe that. Native Americans should not have been removed to Western lands because, and then I gave the reason that they believe differently than me. So this part right here, some people may believe that, all the way to the end of the reason, is our counterclaim. Okay, we don't really want to say some people may believe again. If we used it here in this paragraph, choose like critics argue that or others may believe, switch it up so we're not being repetitive. Okay, but we do want to say something about, we want to use this claim, what others believe, and then their reason. Okay, using different words so we're not being repetitive. So I will set it up for you. You can use this as an example if it works for you. Also, I'm going to use critics.
Teachers, pardon the interruption. We just wanted to let you know that the photos finished up about 7 minutes ago, so all the students should be back in their classes. Thank you.
Also, critics argue that, and then I'm going to give what the other side feels that they should or should have not been removed to Western lands. And then I have to give the reason that they believe that. So I'm going to come back to that same reason that I used in my introduction, period. I don't want to put that same reason word for word. I want the same idea, but I need to switch up some of the words. So again, we're not being repetitive and boring. So this is one sentence. This is a little bit different than the introduction because we are breaking it into 2 separate sentences. Our counterclaim up here, and then we're going to follow it up with rebuttal. Okay, so for rebuttal, this is where we tell them nicely why they're wrong. If you go back to your introduction, you're going to look at what you put after comma but. Okay, this is why you're telling them that they're wrong. So you're going to use this idea right here in your rebuttal. Okay, again, you don't want to use word for word, but you want the same idea. So I'm going to start it out with, although, I'm going to refer back to this, critics may believe this, comma, here's where I put my comma but, okay? Although critics may believe this, comma, and then I'm going to tell them why they're wrong. Using that same idea from my introduction where I first addressed it. Okay, next, I have to back up my rebuttal, the reason that they're wrong, with a piece of evidence. Now, you probably don't have another piece of evidence to use because you've already used the 2 for your yes or 2 for your no, depending on what you're arguing. So you might have to go back to the textbook or to a website and find a piece of textual evidence to support this reason so you can disprove the counterclaim. So taking some time to do that and finding the piece of evidence, you're going to write it right here. But we can't just throw a piece of textual evidence into a paragraph. We have to lead into it. So think back to the leads that you used in the paragraph before, body paragraph number 2. You could start out with, an idea would be the website. If it's a website you're using, if you used a book or something, you can use this. The website, and give the title of website. give that piece of textual evidence that supports your reason and your rebuttal. Okay, and then of course citation has to go at the very end, in parentheses, followed by a period. All right, the last thing is the elaboration and synthesis. You want to explain how this piece of textual evidence supports your rebuttal and disproves your counterclaim. So just like last time, you don't want to say and start out your elaborations that this is the same way that you have in the previous paragraph. So again, here are some ideas. Maybe something you haven't used. Choose something you haven't used yet. This evidence proves. This demonstrates. This proves. And again, it needs to be at least 2 sentences.